Lesson 3.1, what we're going to do is we're going to make a slideshow for Adrenaline Sports about customer service. First thing we're going to do is we're going to name our slideshow 3.1, which I did. In the title box, what we're going to do is we are going to put the title, Adrenaline Sports Customer Service. Subtitle is going to be for new employees, and then we're going to insert the image of the logo, and then we're going to resize it so it looks okay. So I'm going to do that right now, and I'll show you what it should look like. All right, so I have my Adrenaline Sports Customer Service logos. Everything looks good. It's all sized proportionally. So let's go to the next one. Number 2, on the slide, what we want is a title and a text box. And in the text box, we want to type out that paragraph. So I'll show you what it will look like when it is done. All right, so we have what is the customer service, and then we have the paragraph. If you think that the paragraph is not easy enough to read, what you could do is you can increase the font to make it larger. All right, so that would be slide number 2. And then slide number 3, what do they want us to do in the title box? They want us to put customer service tips, and then they want us to use bullets to make the list of the service tips. So before I start typing all the service tips, I want to click the bullet button, and I'll show you where that is, and then I'll show you what it should look like. All right, so right now, this would be my title. I need to change the layout, title on the body. And up here, I'm going to put the tips. But down here, when I go there, before I start typing them, I'm just going to click the bullet button, and that's going to insert a bullet. And when I type it, get to the end of the line, hit enter, and then it'll give me my next bullet and so on until I'm done. So I'm going to type that out, and I'll show you what it's going to look like. All right, so we have the customer service tips. I've typed these out. I've also increased the size to make them easier to see. As you notice, the bullets are there, and it's all lined up. If I was to click in this box and I wanted to put another line, all I do is would hit enter, and another bullet would show up. But if you don't want it, you can just hit backspace, and you're done. All right, slide number 4. It wants us to have a text box on the left. We're going to put an image on the right, and the title is going to go at the top. We're going to put customer services phrases, and in there we're going to have a numbered list with 7 items, and then we're going to find a picture that looks like something to do with customer service, and then we're going to resize it so it fits the size of the slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out the title. I'm going to show you the numbered list, how it's going to look, and then we'll talk about putting in an image. Okay, so I've typed out the title. I've typed out the list of the phrases, and if I wanted to add an 8th one, I could hit enter, and it would automatically give me 8, and then 9 or 10, however many I need to add, but I can just backspace and delete that. Now I got to find an image of customer service, so I'm going to go to insert, image, I'm going to search the web, and I'm going to search for customer service. And then when I find one that I want to use, it could be any of these, it doesn't matter as long as it looks appropriate to customer service. Let's say I'm going to choose this one right here. I'm going to click insert, and what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to resize it because it's going to be too large. I might have to move it, adjust the size, adjust the spacing. We don't want it too over the edge or too low. We want it to look like it should. So that's what it would look like. You could pick any picture you want that deals with customer service. All right, so number 5, slide 5, they want us to use a title and a text box, and then they want telephone greetings, and then again, they want us to make a bulleted list. And they also want the text box, the phrases to be double spaced, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. All right, so I got my telephone greetings. I typed this all out. I made sure they were double spaced. If I hit enter, it'll move it down, and you can see that it was double spaced. Other than that, you can change the font size a little bit to make it easier to see, but that's up to you. All right, slide number 6. Customer service quotes. They want these to be typed out in a text box, and they also want them to be italicized. So I'll show you how that's going to look when we're done. All right, customer service quotes. Good service is good business. Customer service is training your people to give service that is an outstanding fashion, so on. So how I made them italicized, let me turn it back to the regular. This is how they were typed out. And all I did was I highlighted them and I clicked the italics button, and it gives them a little slant to the right. As long as you do that either before you start and continue to type them out, or do it after you're done, everything in that box needs to be italicized. All right, so back to the directions. Format the slide background and the size, style, placement, text, elements, and so on, so it looks professional. They want us to proofread our work, make sure we typed everything correctly and got all the slides in there. As far as the background, it says you can choose a theme, background color, images, and fonts that you want to use, as long as it looks professional. And let me show you an example. If I was to choose a theme, let's say I have the light theme now. If I choose the dark theme, what it will do is it doesn't always work the way you want it to work. So you might want to make sure that when you do this, your words and your slides all look appropriate. And it doesn't matter to me which one of these you do. Just make sure when I look at it, if you have a light background, the words are dark. If you have a dark background, the words are light. And then at the end of the directions, it says to present your slide. And this is just something that you could do to check it over to make sure you like the way it looks. So when you're all done, if you want to go back to the top of your slide, click on slide 1, and you hit the present button, this is what your slideshow is going to look like. And to get to the next slide, you could just click on it, and you can see that we're all done. So that's something you could do. I want you to do that before you turn it in. Don't share with me. Just turn it in Google Classroom. If you guys have any questions, let me know.